fight, fight, and don't let it happen, because the promises that you're given up front are not carried out in the backside of it.
I don't think it's fair. I think they should at least let the community know what they're doing, what their plans are.
I don't think you realize that as a surface rights owner in the state of Texas, that you have no rights until you come up against it.
They come in, they promise you the world, they do their drilling, they make their money, and they leave.
To my knowledge, there is no plan in place that the city has put forth to provide for my safety.
It just seems like if there's enough land to put one of these things on, let's put a gas well up and start making some money.
Right now, all it's about is the almighty dollar.
What concerns me the most is the issues with regard to quality of life, and those issues are far-flung, from light pollution, noise pollution, smog pollution, traffic daily coming up into the neighborhood to remove the water and gas and everything that goes along with just the increased encroachment on the quietness and the sanctity of this neighborhood.
Just the general noise from the gas well itself. They have a pump that's pumping out a lot of water from the lake that runs 8 to 10 hours at a time. When the wind is blowing in the right direction, I can't even walk outside because of the fumes from the diesel fuel, the exhaust. It just chokes you.
There's constant fumes in the air. You can smell the diesel fumes. The noise pollution is like you cannot believe. We could not even go outside and enjoy our pool.
For 23 days we had neighbors out here, had many sleepless nights from the drilling operation, the noise. 85 decibels of annoying screeching sound in the middle of the night is more than most people can tolerate.
I mean, our house literally shook when they drilled. Our windows shook. I mean, there was no quiet for weeks.
I can't think of anything I would less like than to live by a gas well. It just doesn't seem to be, to me, a favorable environment to raise a family and enjoy what nature provides in terms of clean water, clean air, and a relatively noise-free environment.
When it first went up, the noise, everything associated with it, we started thinking about selling. We decided that we probably wouldn't have much of a chance to sell with all that going on, since we'd have to disclose everything that's going on with the well and everything and the noise generated from it, and the marketability of the house has probably gone down considerably.
The gas companies, oil companies have came in and disrupted all of our lifestyle, have just reduced the value of our homes probably half, if not more, because if I was going to purchase a home, this would be the last place I would purchase it after living here for 2.5 years and dealing with the nightmares of the developers that started this and some of the people that are profiting from it.
You know, my property here is not worth what it was before these wells were dug next door. So, you know, we're going to take a loss there.
Our home, when we built it, or when we had the company build it and we took over, the insurance companies came in and estimated it at $475,000. The Tarrant County tax appraisers have came in and dropped it to $180,000.
Well, if I decided, or any of the homeowners around here decided to sell their property because they chose not to live next to one of these things, they'd have to be in a lower bargaining position just because of having the inconvenience of a gas well or the presumption of the safety factor. On this site right now, we were guaranteed some security of this site. The site is completely open to anybody that wants to walk into it. This is the type of security they're going to provide after the fact. We're not impressed.
The city, to my knowledge, has no plan that if there was a well and it explodes and I'm told I have to evacuate, it's up to me as to where I go, what expenses are incurred because of that.
It's dangerous while the drilling operations are ongoing. It's dangerous after they've left the site.
Do I have an evacuation route? Just the opposite direction from the explosion.
Well water in rural areas of drilling have actually polluted personal wells.
I have noticed that when the wells were being drilled, that my water had a distinct smell of rotten eggs.
My water was good water until this drilling started. Started getting rust in it. It started getting a bad taste. It was staining everything in our house. Our clothes, our whites were turning gold.
Nobody would buy this house if you couldn't drink the water. Nobody would want to have water pumped into a cistern from the outside. Nobody would want to have to rely on bottled water.
I think it's pretty ridiculous that everyone's on water rations and have, you know, the cities are coming up with, you can water Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if that, and these guys can pull out 1 million gallons per well, if not more.
We've had tanker trucks come into our neighborhood just recently to fill up water. We counted 6 trucks, made 3 trips in one evening into our neighborhood on our residential streets, drawing water from a city fire hydrant that they weren't authorized to use. People were meeting these trucks on the residential roads as they were coming and going. That was 36 trips in one evening. They did that pretty much 24/7 during that time.
Green space is essential for people in Fort Worth as well as all communities, and there never appears to be enough of it.
The area is sensitive in that it has more flowers and fauna than most of the areas of the state. It is a natural prairie that's been undisturbed. That's one of the huge losses, is an environmental loss.
There isn't enough green space in Fort Worth for a city of its size. Therefore, any impact on existing green space that comes from drilling is going to have an even greater impact on what little we have.
They've left the land, you know, not like it was, not like it's supposed to be left, and so we've still got some unfinished business. The gas company and I are not through dealing.
Everything is, we'll do this and we'll do this. All they're doing is paying a little taxes to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they could give a damn less about what they do to the property afterwards, as long as they get their money out.
The question is, how much damage can we endure and still use the economic argument to justify destruction of natural habitats and the slow erosion of human health?
We own approximately 5.3 acres of land, and they are taking approximately 2.5 acres of it, which we are paying taxes for. And we are not being giving any reimbursement whatsoever, and we have, if you take a picture of it, you'll see we have no access to that land whatsoever. They've put an 8-foot fence completely around it, and our view is no longer there, and the wells are not where they said they were going to be.
I believe if you don't own mineral rights in this state, that you're being taxed illegally because you own nothing. You can't keep the mineral rights owner off your property. They can do as they please, and they do so.
The surface development is being allowed to develop up to these gas wells within 200 and 300 feet in my neighborhood. What a lot of people aren't being told about these operations is we're being downplayed and told, okay, we're going to come in and drill these wells and then we're going to be gone. Well, that's one of the biggest lies, because these gas well operations in the Barnett Shale are going to go on 30, 40, maybe 50 years. We have no idea how long that gas is going to replenish itself. And what we found out is they got to come in and refrac or re-drill these wells every 3 to 5 years. So the impact is going to be just like they started operations 3 to 5 years from now, except they'll have houses and homes and families within 200 and 300 feet from them under the current ordinance.
The gas companies and the mineral rights people, they don't realize what they're doing to the future of Texas by putting holes under the ground. They need to put some rules and laws in effect that are going to protect our children and their children and their children. But these corporations don't give a damn, because all they're about is money, period.
The original ordinance was written by those that it would only benefit, and that story has been tried to be sold to the citizens of Fort Worth. Building houses 200 and 300 foot from gas wells, to me, is not living up to what we call Fort Worth the most livable city in the nation.
Do it far enough away so that it doesn't cause any obvious short-term impact, and that monitor it intensively enough to ensure that even long-term impacts are avoided.
I'd ask the mayor to reconsider this ordinance that we're now living under and put a reasonable distance that we can access this resource of natural gas in the city of Fort Worth. And I think we could do that, but I think we need to start looking at 3,000 feet from where people got to live.
To say 3,000 feet from where I live or greater is, to me, not unreasonable with regard to maintaining quality of life.
Speak out. Write to the newspapers, contact the news agencies, vote the politicians out if you have to, but make yourself heard.
The city of Fort Worth needs to look and study real hard. The closer you get into these neighborhoods like we're in here and around schools and businesses, you need to be careful. Gas is explosive.
I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed the dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Springs a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town.